Oh, what a beautiful evening. Makes me feel all gooey. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might. Have my wish I wish tonight. Oh, that's a biggin. Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft The Journey with me, BugmanCX. This is the Let's Play series where we are upgrading a survival world of Minecraft through all of the different versions of Minecraft, right from the very beginning, all the way up until the current modern day release. Whatever that is, whenever we get there, who knows when that'll be, probably a long time. Right now we're in Minecraft Beta 1.9 pre-release 3, and, well, there's a couple of things that I want to go and investigate first. Over here, in the last episode, or the one before that, I forget, I spoke about how my villagers had been disappearing and duplicating, and for a long while now, I've just had one librarian left and one cleric. And then a little while ago, one of my clerics disappeared, and I just had this one librarian left. Now I've got two librarians. Entities seem to be duplicating in my world. This is also the case downstairs. Downstairs in the little farm that we built. Let's go the quick way. Where entities down here have been duplicating and disappearing. Last time I was here, there were 3 cows. Now there are 4. Last time I was here, there were 3 sheep. Now there's 1. And I bred up one of these mushrooms, so there's definitely supposed to be 3. And in here, there's only 1 chicken, and there used to be 2. So this whole thing where the passive mobs remain in the game indefinitely is not very reliable at the moment. Like, for example, how do I breed up these sheep now? I don't know. I'm going to have to go and find another one and bring it down. Oh, all of the woes of Minecraft Beta. There's so many things that you have to deal with. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring a little bit more around these new blocks that were added into the game. Maybe not this one, we're still going to come to that later on. There's lots to be done with that one, but certainly this one here, the end portal frame, there's more to this than we covered in the last episode. So what I want to do first is I want to actually use this block in a build, because why not? It's weird looking, its texture's going to change very, very soon, but who cares? I want to build something interesting with this. Let's go up to the surface. Thankfully, I was able to sleep and get rid of that pesky rain. With these blocks here, the end portal frame, one of the interesting attributes of these is that they give off a little bit of light. One of the other interesting attributes is that if I place one down in the world, I can probably show you. Oh, by the way, the 2 mushrooms in here, they disappeared as well. Not because of this hole in the wall, that was caused by a creeper, but that was after they disappeared. I still need to repair that. Anyway, the point I was trying to get across here is that these blocks are unbreakable. Even if I had a pickaxe on me right now, I wouldn't be able to break this block. So we need to be very careful about where we put these down. It is possible to break these using TNT, and maybe we can experiment with that later, but that's not exactly what I really want. I want to be able to just place these down in a build without having to explode everything. So I was thinking about what I can do with them, and I had a bit of a look around outside, and I thought, maybe we could build something up here. It's just coming up to nighttime, so this is the perfect time to check out this star, but over the sky here, it looks wonderful, and the fact that it's lit up gives it that little bit of extra presence. And you might have noticed how easy it was for me to build this. Well, I didn't want to fail and screw it up, so I actually cheated slightly. What I did is I used a template made out of netherrack behind the star here, but you didn't see it because I used my own texture pack to remove it during that time lapse. So if I go back out here to the texture packs and turn it off, if we go back in, you'll see that behind me there, or behind the star I should say, is a whole bunch of netherrack. So I need to pop back up there and remove all of that. But I just wanted you to know how I did that so cleanly without any screw-ups. When you're in school, did you ever have one of those rulers which would let you draw a perfect square or a perfect circle? That's what this kind of reminds me of. Today, I want to go off exploring into new chunks. Well, sort of new chunks. We need to go into existing chunks, but we need to reset them in order to cause a new stronghold to generate, because it's now possible to find strongholds with an end portal room, and inside of that, there should be an end portal made up of these blocks, and I want to go and see what it all looks like. This is an overviewer map which I generated around episode 125 of this series, and it's quite a useful map because it shows us the location of the 3 strongholds within this world. And remember that Minecraft will only generate 3 strongholds in each world at this stage. No matter how large and how far out you go exploring, there will only ever be 3. So far, we've uncovered this one, which is the little staircase. Remember that during beta 1.8, there was a version which meant that the stronghold would only generate with the tiny little staircase in the middle, so that's that one there, and we can't do anything with that. Down here, further along this way somewhere, we've got stronghold number 2, and this is the one that we explored several episodes back, which we went underground and had a look at, and this one is the first major stronghold generation in this world, and it doesn't contain things like the portal room or anything like that that we currently find in strongholds today. So I want to leave that one and preserve it as is. Up here, we also have the 3rd stronghold location. Where is it? There it is. This one is in already existing chunks, but there's no stronghold underground here. This is just telling us the location of where it actually would generate if these chunks were to be regenerated from scratch. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to follow the same process that I did with the previous stronghold here, and remove all of the chunks that exist where the stronghold would normally generate, and hopefully by heading back here it'll force the game to generate a brand new stronghold and brand new chunks, and this one should contain a portal room, and I'm excited about that. This stronghold is actually quite close to the ravine base. The ravine is just over there beyond those trees. Over here is the village where we stole our first set of villagers. I still haven't torn down all of this track that I made for the rail, and the stronghold should be over here somewhere in this swamp. In future versions of the game, you'll be able to navigate your way to the nearest stronghold by using a special new item. You can actually craft them in this version. All you need is ender pearls and blaze powder. Let's make the blaze powder first. And if we combine these together in the crafting grid right here, we get ourselves an Eye of Ender. Normally you'd be able to right click and these would float up into the sky and then head off towards the nearest stronghold, but it doesn't work in this version. So Jeb included a debug feature, let's call it a debug feature, which would allow you to spot a stronghold from a mile away. If we head down here and get a little bit closer to I'm going to take damage from here, aren't I? Oh well. If we head a little bit closer to the stronghold in this direction, we should see it very, very shortly. Aha! Do you see it? Do you see it? Off there in the distance, 2 giant glass pillars. Let's head over and have a bit of a closer look. Look at these 2 beauties, 2 naturally spawning glass pillars, only available in this version pre-release 3. In the next version, this debug feature gets removed. And the only reason it was added, I believe, is because these Eyes of Ender don't work yet, so this just provides an easy way of spotting exactly where the stronghold is from a distance. What we can do is we can dig down to the bottom of each of these glass pillars, and what we should find is that one of them leads to the central staircase of the stronghold, and the other one leads directly down to the end portal room, the brand new room added in this version. So I'm going to dig down to one of these and then explore the stronghold and see what we can find. This is a good sign here. We've got some stronghold blocks right here. Let's keep going and see if we can find anything. Oh, people, don't dig straight down. Well, let's try that again. I'm going to be a little bit more careful this time. Let's say we do the old 2 dig down trick where you can see exactly where you're going before you fall into it. And as soon as we see those blocks from the stronghold, I'm just going to dig inside and see if we can break our way into the stronghold from up here. Right here ought to do it. I'm going to dig down again, but I think it's pretty safe now. I'm pretty confident. Yes, okay, we've dug straight into the central staircase. Let's pop out and get some torches. I'm going to go exploring and see if we can find this end portal room. I love the way this is still a bug. Ah! It's right here. Of course it is. This makes perfect sense because it's directly opposite where we were. Let's go inside and see what we've got. Well, we've got some lava on each side and we've also got a spawner. Let's have a closer look at this thing. What's that in there? That looks like a silverfish. It's the silverfish spawner. Let's pop some torches down here to prevent any silverfish from spawning. They don't. Oh, here they come. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. I don't want silverfish to spawn all in that room because I don't want to destroy the room. I want to keep it quite pristine. So I'm going to have to get out of here and head back down there when things are all safe and sound again. Ah! This is probably not enough light, but by using the flint and steel here, I should be able to murder these little bugs without the game thinking that it was me. And it looks like even when they try and attack me, they're still not doing any damage, so that works in our favor. But have a look at this. What are these weird things? Okay, from the outside here, we've got our end portal frame blocks, but these look really, really strange. And the reason they look strange... The reason they look strange is because if you are familiar with how the end portals work in normal versions of the game, you have some blocks which have got the Eyes of Ender in them, and some which don't. And these are the ones which don't have the Eyes of Ender in them. So the way we would repair these is by taking an Eye of Ender, and then placing it into the affected block. And I'm going to do that over here for a very good reason that I will explain shortly. But let's see if we can repair this one. We can. Okay, that means we have 2 left that remain unrepaired. And these are the only 2 in this world that look like this at the moment. And I'm wondering if we can obtain any of these ourselves. There's a couple of questions in my mind. First, if I were to repair both of these... hello. Be right back. If I were to repair both of these, would a portal form? I just don't know. I could try it, but then I'd lose these 2 blocks. I want to blow them up with TNT because I want to see if we can collect one of these and put it in our collection. And if we do manage to collect one of these, can I just replace it with other portal blocks like this? And if they're all full, will the portal still form? These are questions I just don't know, and I'm going to have to either experiment here in this world or in a creative world. We're going to have to make a decision. Okay, I've made a decision. I don't know if it's the right one. I have created a world backup because you never know what could go wrong. I'm hoping that if I explode this right on top of this block, we're going to get it. Let's see what happens right now. What? Oh! Okay. Whoa! We got nothing. All right, I've loaded a world backup and now it's attempt number 2. What? Oh, we didn't get one. I've tried this quite a few times now, each without success, and I should have just paid more attention. When I reviewed my footage, I spotted something. I spotted that this block and this block both got destroyed and landed on the ground, and I was able to pick them up. One of them was a repaired portal block, and the other one was a broken one. And when the broken one exploded and turned into item form, it ended up turning into one of these, a fully fixed one. So unfortunately, there's no way to get a broken end portal frame. We're just going to have to accept that. Our world backup is restored and the portal is back to the way that it was. And there's something that I noticed while I was working out here that I just didn't expect. These blocks here, the ones that I'm walking on, they're all solid. But look what happens when I walk on this broken end portal frame. I fall right through. And, oh, can you see my face? Not really. It's a bit like a cobweb. But I just didn't expect to be able to fall through them because in the newer versions, the broken end portal frame block is solid and you just walk across the top of it. So that's something I learned. It's my favorite thing to do, digging out nether tunnels. This now hooks up to the main corridor running from spawn to the ravine base up there. Whoops. And just here, we're going to create our nether portal. And I'm hoping that this will line up perfectly with the corridor outside of the portal room. So let's just hook this nether portal up and we'll get our flint and steel and see where this takes us. Fingers crossed. To the surface. Of course, it took us to the surface. Why wouldn't it? I'm just going to relocate this downstairs, but it has taken us to the right area. That's a plus. Done. I think we all know by now that these blocks are going to allow us to create a gateway to the end dimension as soon as that dimension is added to the game. Sorry folks if that was a spoiler for you, but yeah, the end dimension is coming. I think we all know it. But who wants to be running to and fro from the base all the way through the nether and then finding the stronghold area and then jumping through a portal? Oh no, we can use these frames that the game has kindly donated to us to create our very own portal here in the base. And I was thinking, what better space to do it than right down here near the lava? And this chunk here, you might remember, has been unmodified for quite a while. So I thought, well, why not use this chunk? Ever since we fixed them up in MC Edit, I should be able to use this chunk now, and the changes should be saved. So let's just dig away a bit of a... Well, what have we got here? Looks like somebody's done all the work for us. Ah, that's great news. Can't fool you for a second, can I? I created this room a little while back because I was anticipating having to do this and I had a bit of time to kill. So I've been doing it in secret here and building this little room out. It's got 2 layers, as you can see, but there aren't going to be 2 portals. I've just made this upper level so that you can dive down from above. I thought it might be fun to enter the end by diving in from way up here or down there if you choose to. So where this cobblestone is, I'm going to replace all of these with end portal frames. Let's do the first one. Done. And if I replace all of these, we can then fill in the middle ourselves manually, because obviously an end portal isn't going to form itself. We have to use the fact that we have access to the end portal block to fill in the gaps manually, just like we did in the lake outside. So now that we've got rid of all of these, I have to be careful not to accidentally double click, because if I do that, I can't break the block without TNT. That's annoying. Almost. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Done. All right, so now it should just be a case of filling in these blocks here with end portal blocks. Let me go and get some. Back again, now it should just be a simple matter of filling this in. By the way, look at this void fog. Ooh, it's pretty dark, isn't it? Let's fill this in block by block. 1, 2, 3. And the job, whoa. Look at that. That's like a rainbow oil slick. I haven't seen the game do this before, and I think this might be a combination of how the void fog is affecting the end portal texture. But yeah, it looks like an oil truck has spilled all over the road. Now, of course, this portal doesn't work yet. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with this. But as soon as the game adds the end dimension, we should be able to dive in from right here. But this isn't the only end portal we're going to be adding today. Of course, the last place we're going to be building an end portal today is here. And I know what you're thinking, Bugman, you've just taken us back to an end portal room. Well, you'd be sadly mistaken. Take a closer look. See these bricks? They're all pristine because this portal room has been freshly built. No slime, no cracks, no nothing like that. And also, this spawner looks a bit weird. And if you listen, there are some sounds we shouldn't normally be hearing. That's because I can't fool you. We're in the nether. This is the spawn nether portal right here. If you go through here, it'll take you back to spawn. And I thought, why not create an end portal room right off of the spawn in the nether so that you can come into the nether and then jump straight into the end portal and go straight to the end dimension from the nether itself. Something that you can't do in the normal game, so I thought it might be a little bit of a different thing to do, a different thing to try. What we need to do now is build a nether portal right here, and we need to make sure that we get this correct because I don't want to stuff it up. But we have the shape in place, and I need to put some supporting blocks down because the nether portal, at least in the future, it needs to be placed in a specific orientation. The blocks do, that is. And so what I'm going to do is create these supporting blocks here, and I'll use these to place the portal frame blocks against it. You'll see what I mean as soon as we... yep, all of that looks good as soon as we do it. So if I just pop up here and back down again because I need blocks to blocks to stand on. Okay, everything's looking quite good here. These are the corner blocks. There's nothing there. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Counting with Bugman. So this is a fully complete end portal frame, and as you saw, I placed all of the blocks facing towards the center of the portal, which is how they need to be constructed. The next step is just to light this thing up. Let's go in here and very carefully, how do I do this? Yep, like that, just like that, and then bring these to me. What I might actually do though is place some extra supporting blocks just on the floor here so that we have something to place the portal blocks against. Because, you know, just reasons, and let's select them. Okay, ready to go. Place in all of these central portal blocks, and we have a complete nether portal. Let me just clean up these blocks around here and we'll look at the final product. And here it is, our stronghold end portal in the nether. Pretty strange. And there's a couple of things I wanted to point out. One is that at the moment, as we know, we have the uncolored grass texture on the base of the portal frame here. So if you come down, you can actually see it. Oh, and I do need to put the lava in here, but I'll do that a little bit later on. And the other thing I noticed whilst building this is, have a look at this. Have you noticed it yet? Have you noticed it? These textures don't connect. Maybe that'll get fixed in the future. I don't know. The third thing is, because these nether tunnels are 2 by 2 and because this is a 3 across entrance, I had to kind of fudge this entryway here and make it look all ugly. It doesn't line up, but I'm just going to have to live with that because there was absolutely nothing that I could do. But I'm really pleased with this build and I'm excited to be able to access the end directly from my nether. I hope it actually works. Well, thank you everybody for watching today's episode, and what do you mean? They're just my new glasses, don't you like them? It's all the rage. Anyway, thank you to all of my amazing patrons for your continued support, and I'll see everybody else in the next episode. If you want to check me out, join my Discord, or do anything else, there are links down in the description below as always, but until then, I'll see you all in the next episode. This has been Bugman CX. You've been watching Minecraft: The Journey. Bye-bye. Now there's 4 of you.